Hey everyone, and welcome back. We are going deep on AI for language learning this time.
Yeah, it's huge.
Really exciting stuff, right? I mean, think about those days, way back when you'd be hunched over a textbook and it felt like you were getting nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, AI is going to change all that.
I think it already is changing it in a lot of ways.
Right. So, how does that work?
Well, instead of these one-size-fits-all language courses, we've got AI that can tailor make the learning experience for your own goals and your own needs.
Okay, so what can you give me a concrete example?
Yeah. So let's say you're learning English and you're making the same grammar mistakes over and over again.
Yeah.
Right. And so instead of just marking you wrong like a traditional textbook would, and an AI-powered app could actually analyze your errors, figure out oh, this is the pattern of mistakes this person is making.
Wow.
And then it could create a custom lesson just for you.
That really understands what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, to help you finally understand, that tricky grammar rule or whatever it is.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's not just about, memorizing vocab lists anymore. It's actually understanding the nuance of the language.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So let's talk about some of the tools, right?
Right.
I'm sure people listening are how can I use AI right now in my language learning journey?
Yeah, what are these tools?
Give us some examples.
So one great example is Duolingo.
Oh, yeah.
And Duolingo has actually been using AI for years to kind of personalize your lessons and adapt to your strengths and weaknesses as a learner.
I've used Duolingo.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how their algorithm works because it tracks not just whether you get an answer right or wrong, but the types of mistakes that you're making.
Sure.
So it's kind of figuring out what you need to focus on.
So it's like having a personal tutor who's always watching and adjusting.
Exactly. Oh, you're good at this, but we need to work on this other thing.
Yeah, that's cool. So are there any other apps out there that use AI in different ways?
Oh, yeah, for sure. One that comes to mind is Elsa Speak. And Elsa Speak uses AI to analyze your pronunciation and give you really detailed feedback.
Oh, wow.
So it's like having a virtual speech coach.
So you don't have to have an actual person there.
Right in your pocket.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it can listen to how you're saying things and say oh, you need to work on your TH sound or whatever it is.
I mean, that's super helpful, right? Because pronunciation is one of those things that's so hard to get right.
Absolutely, especially when you don't have someone there to correct you.
Okay, so this is all pretty amazing, but is there a risk, do you think, that relying too much on these AI tools might make us lazy?
Oh, that's a great question.
What about those of us who really thrive on the challenge of figuring things out on our own?
That's a really valid concern.
Yeah.
And I think the key is balance. AI is not meant to replace the hard work and dedication that goes into learning a language. It's really meant to enhance that process to make it more efficient and more engaging.
So AI can't do it all for us.
No, you still have to put in the work.
We still got to do the work.
Right.
But it makes it easier.
Right.
And more fun.
Exactly. And I think that's a key part of it too, right? If you're having fun learning a language, you're more likely to stick with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, how does AI actually figure out someone's learning style?
Yeah.
Is it through quizzes? Is it just by watching what you're doing in the app?
That's a good question.
How does that work?
I think it's a bit of both, actually.
Okay.
Some apps might actually ask you directly, what are your preferences?
Oh, okay.
Do you like to learn by listening? Do you like to learn by reading?
Got it.
That kind of thing. But others will actually observe how you interact with the material.
Interesting.
So what types of exercises are you gravitating toward? How quickly are you progressing through certain lessons and that kind of thing?
Oh.
And then they use that data to create a more personalized learning path for you.
Okay, so we've got AI tutors in our pocket now.
Yeah.
But what about speaking practice?
Yeah.
That's got to be something that a lot of people struggle with, right?
Oh, well, absolutely.
Finding a conversation partner is a challenge.
Huge challenge.
Yeah.
And that's where AI chatbots, I think, are going to be super helpful.
Really?
Yeah, they're available 24/7, ready to have a conversation with you in English, no matter what your level is.
The chatbots.
Yeah.
I can actually have a conversation with a robot and it will help me with my English.
Yeah.
That sounds like a sci-fi movie.
I know, it's wild, right?
Yeah.
It's we're living in the future.
But it's real.
But it's real.
That's crazy.
It is. And we're talking about AI models like GPT-3 that are capable of generating human quality text and having conversations that are surprisingly natural.
Wow. I'm picturing like myself like sitting down with a cup of coffee, like with a chatbot, just like chatting about my day in English.
Exactly.
No pressure.
No judgment, just pure practice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they don't get tired.
That's good.
They're always there.
You don't judge you.
Right.
That's the best part.
Exactly. And they don't care how many times you stumble over a word or phrase. They're just there to help you.
Okay, so we've got AI tutors. We've got AI conversation partners. What's next AI that writes our homework for us?
Not quite.
Oh.
But AI can help you with your writing.
Okay.
So you've probably heard of Grammarly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Grammarly uses AI to catch your grammatical errors, suggest better word choices, and improve the clarity of your writing.
So it's like having a little editor.
Right, like a personal editor.
All the time.
That's constantly reviewing your work.
Yeah, and that must be super helpful for people who struggle with writing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond grammar and spelling.
Okay.
It can help you rephrase sentences, find synonyms, generate different writing styles to suit your needs.
So if I need to sound more professional or less professional,
exactly,
I can tell it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So that's useful for like emails, essays, social media posts.
Anything you're writing, pretty much.
Even like creative writing projects?
Yeah, if you're trying to write a novel even, you could use AI to help you.
But isn't that kind of like cheating?
That's a good question, and I think it's important to remember that these AI tools are meant to be used as aids, not crutches.
Got it.
So they can help you identify your weaknesses and improve your skills.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you still have to put in the effort and do the learning.
So you can't just like plug in a topic and have it write a whole essay for you.
Right. It's not going to do the work for you.
Okay, so AI can help us speak better, write better. Is there anything it can't do when it comes to language learning?
I mean, I think it can't replace the human element entirely. It can't replicate the joy of like connecting with another person in a meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
Or, the satisfaction of finally mastering a complex grammar rule on your own.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But it can definitely make the journey a lot smoother and more enjoyable.
Yeah. I think that's the key takeaway here, right?
Yeah.
It's not replacing humans.
Right.
It's just making it easier for us to learn.
And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into some more specific examples of these AI tools.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure people are itching to know, like, what can I use? What's out there?
Yeah, let's give them some real-world examples.
Yeah, how can they actually use AI to supercharge their language learning journey?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we talked about the amazing potential of AI in language learning, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty here.
Yeah.
What are some tools that people can start using today?
Yeah, some specific examples.
Yeah.
Okay, well, a couple of AI-powered apps come to mind that are really cool.
Okay.
One is Babbel.
Okay, I've heard of Babbel.
Yeah, you know Babbel.
Yeah.
So they use AI to personalize your vocabulary learning and practice exercises.
Okay.
And it's really good for real life conversations, and it adapts to your pace of learning.
So if I'm struggling with a certain, set of words or phrases, it will pick up on that.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it tailors the experience to you.
Awesome.
Another one that's really interesting is Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone, yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they're like the OG.
They are the OG, and they've recently integrated AI into their platform to make it even better.
So they're keeping up with the times.
Yeah, they're staying ahead of the curve.
Okay, cool.
So they use AI to give you personalized feedback and guidance.
I've always thought of Rosetta Stone as being very immersive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They try to teach you the way you would learn your first language.
Exactly. And now with AI, they can make that even more immersive.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so we've got these apps that can help us with personalized lessons, vocabulary.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who are terrified of actually speaking the language?
Oh, that's a huge one.
Right.
A lot of people have that fear.
Yeah, it's one thing to memorize words and grammar rules, but it's another thing to open your mouth and actually talk.
Totally different ballgame.
Right.
And I think this is where the AI chatbots can really come in handy.
Really?
Yeah, because remember, they're available 24/7.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole practicing English with a robot thing.
I know, it's wild.
Give me an example of how this would actually work.
Okay, so let's say you're getting ready for a trip to an English-speaking country.
Okay.
Right? And you're I need to practice some basic phrases.
Yeah.
You could use a chatbot like ChatGPT to practice things asking for for directions, ordering food,
Okay.
checking into a hotel.
So it's like a role-playing partner.
Exactly.
That's always available.
Always available, never gets tired.
That's the key.
Doesn't judge you.
And doesn't judge you.
Right. You can practice at your own pace.
Yeah.
In a safe environment, and you can always go back and review like the conversation you had.
So you can see what you did wrong.
Exactly.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what if I'm like more interested in the reading and writing side of things?
Yeah.
Are there tools for that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So for writing, we talked about Grammarly,
Yeah.
which is great for like catching those errors.
Uh-huh.
But there are other AI-powered writing assistants out there as well.
Like what?
So one that I really like is Pro Writing Aid.
Pro Writing Aid.
Yeah, have you heard of that one?
I have heard of that one.
So it's a really good option for people who want like more in-depth feedback on their writing.
Oh, cool.
It goes beyond grammar and spelling. It looks at sentence structure, word choice,
Wow.
readability.
It analyzes like all of it?
Yeah, it analyzes all of it, and it helps you become a stronger writer overall.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like a writing coach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what about reading then?
Reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are AI-powered reading assistants
Really?
that can analyze a text and give you like definitions, translations, even audio pronunciations of words you don't know
In real time.
in real time. Yeah, so as you're reading.
So I could be reading a news article.
Yeah.
And it would like pop up.
Yeah, and it would highlight the word and be like, here's what this means.
Ah.
Here's how you say it.
That would be so helpful for like complex texts.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
Yeah, so it makes the reading process so much smoother.
Yeah, because you don't have to stop and go look something up.
Exactly.
You can just like keep going and you actually understand what you're reading.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it can help with comprehension too, because if you're not stopping all the time to look up words, you can actually focus on like the meaning of the text.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got speaking, writing, reading. What about listening?
Listening. That's a good one. So for listening, there are AI-powered transcription tools.
What?
Yeah.
Like you can write down what it's hearing.
Yeah, in real time.
So I could be watching a movie and like the subtitles would be generated as the person's speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And you can even like click on individual words.
To see what they mean?
Yeah, to see what they mean or hear how they're pronounced.
Oh my gosh, that's a game changer.
It is. It's a game changer.
Because that's always been like the hardest part for me is like listening to something and trying to understand it.
Yeah, especially with different accents and speeds and...
Yeah, and like slang.
Yeah, it can be really tough.
Wow.
So these tools make it so much easier.
So it's like you're immersed in the content.
Exactly.
Whether it's like a movie or a TV show or even like a YouTube video.
Oh, anything you want.
And you can actually understand it.
Yeah, and I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because it's all about immersion, right?
Yeah.
The more you can immerse yourself in the language, the better you're going to learn.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
It's not just about individual tools.
Yeah.
It's like it's creating this whole like ecosystem of learning.
It's a holistic approach.
Yeah, that's personalized
And engaging.
and effective.
And the best part is that AI is still in its early stages when it comes to language learning.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we've only scratched the surface.
I'm already blown away by what's out there.
I know, it's crazy to think about, like, what's going to be possible in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves, I want to like take a closer look at how all of these tools can come together
Okay.
to create that like truly personalized learning plan.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Because that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. That's the holy grail.
Like, how can AI be your personal language learning strategist?
Let's dive into that.
So we've talked about all these amazing AI-powered tools,
Yeah.
but how do they actually like fit together? Can AI really create a personalized learning plan that like takes into account all my individual needs and goals?
I think so, yeah. That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And I think AI can do that.
Okay.
It can act as your personal language learning strategist.
Okay. Walk me through it. How would this personalized AI plan actually work?
So let's say your goal is to, become fluent in English for a business trip in 6 months.
Okay.
You could tell an AI-powered platform that.
Okay.
And the AI would take into account your current level, your learning style, the specific skills you need to develop.
So like business vocabulary.
Yeah, like business vocabulary, presentation skills.
Okay.
Even like the amount of time that you're willing to dedicate each day to studying.
Right. So it really is tailored to like my unique circumstances.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And then as you progress through the program, the AI would constantly be monitoring your performance.
So it's like always watching.
It's always watching.
Okay.
And it would identify areas where you're excelling and areas where you're struggling. Okay.
And then it would adjust the plan accordingly.
So, like, for example.
So let's say you're like flying through the grammar exercises, but you're really struggling with pronunciation.
Right.
The AI would pick up on that, and it would automatically allocate more time and resources to pronunciation practice.
Wow. So it's like a tutor who's like constantly like...
It's like a 247 tutor who's constantly tweaking the game plan.
Yeah, that's really cool.
To make sure you're making the most progress.
But that must require like a lot of data, right?
It does. It requires massive amounts of data.
Like, how do they even...
Yeah, that's where AI's ability to analyze vast amounts of data really comes into play.
Yeah.
So these AI-powered learning platforms are tracking everything.
Everything.
From the words you're getting wrong
to
the specific sounds that you're having trouble pronouncing.
Uh-huh.
They can analyze your writing style.
Wow.
Identify areas for improvement.
That's a little overwhelming.
It can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like Big Brother, right? It's like AI is watching you.
Yeah.
But it's all for your benefit.
Yeah, as long as it's helping me learn a language, I'm okay with it.
Exactly. And it's not just about data analysis.
Right.
AI can also leverage the power of machine learning to predict what you're likely to struggle with in the future.
So it's like predicting my mistakes?
Yeah, it's like a language learning crystal ball.
Before I even make them.
Yeah, it's predicting your future mistakes before you even make them.
That's kind of spooky, but also cool.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I think this is just the beginning. Like, as AI technology continues to evolve, these personalized learning plans are going to become even more sophisticated and effective.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be a language learner.
It is.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. Like, access to these advanced AI tools probably cost money.
That's true. Some of the more advanced AI-powered language learning platforms do require a subscription or a fee.
Right.
But there are a lot of free options available as well. So even if you're on a budget, you can still benefit from the power of AI.
So there's really no excuse not to be using this stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you can use things like ChatGPT and Google Bard to supplement your learning.
For free.
For free.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so you can ask them to, translate text for you, provide definitions, generate practice exercises.
Really?
Even role play different conversation scenarios.
So you don't even need to pay for like a fancy app.
Right. Exactly.
You can just use these free tools.
You can just use the tools that are already out there.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we're wrapping up our deep dive into the world of AI-powered language learning, I want to leave our listeners with this thought.
Okay.
What if we could all embrace the power of AI to unlock our full language learning potential?
That's a great question.
Like, imagine a world where language barriers no longer exist.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Where communication flows freely across cultures and continents. Yeah.
I think AI could help us get there.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's an exciting prospect.
Yeah, I'm really optimistic about the future of language learning with AI by our side.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us on this journey, and happy learning, everyone.